Sometimes music is in the soul. So, this one's for me.
Reluctantly, Vincenzo took the violin and, placing it properly in position under his chin, he began to play. He began playing slowly at first, until his heart began to play the notes. As he did, something magical began to happen. He began to feel the power of the music once again. When he had finished, a change had taken place, and there was hope.
I can't sell you my violin. I thought as not. You keep the violin, Vincenzo, and play, all right?
Vincenzo left the shop with a resolution that he would never again give up on his dream.
Everybody experiences failure, and if you haven't, it's just because you haven't done anything new. Because everything new requires failure, it's just a fact. In education, there's a term designated for new learners. It's called the J-curve, a J. When we start, we may begin here. As we begin to implement the new experience or information in our life, we initially struggle, or perhaps even fail. But as we learn the lessons from our failure and are persistent, we become competent and very successful with our new lessons or experience. And as we get competent, things go up dramatically. That's a J-curve. Most things in life come to us that way. So as we encounter feelings of frustration, we need to understand that it's normal, and we will get through it if we persevere.
There was a software executive who made a huge error, costing the company millions of dollars, and this is a true story. Millions of dollars at this one mistake or one failure he had made. So he went in, he was called in to see the chairman and the CEO, and of course he brought his resignation letter, and he handed it to the chairman, and the chairman said, what are you doing? We just spent millions of dollars educating you. You can't leave us now. Now, not every employer is going to be that compassionate, but the universe is.
Every one of us gets rejected, and what you and I need to do as individuals is reject rejection. Make yourself rejection-proof. When Jack and I started Chicken Soup, we spent 3 years writing it, and then we tried to sell it. We went to New York with a great agent, and 33 publishers all said, hit the road, Jack. And then we went to the BEA, Book Expo of America, and we went booth to booth to booth to booth, and 144 people, sum totally, said, buzz off, you guys, that's sappy little stories. They're never going to sell. They're too nice. The secret word that every winner knows is called N-E-X-T, next.
You're going to meet obstacles. You're going to see adversity. It's going to happen to you. I guarantee it. So what gets you through it? It's your passion, it's your energy, it's your commitment to this game plan. And wow, it can be very, very exciting.
I have never met a successful person who hasn't failed. Never. Not in the course of my lifetime, not in the course of my reading, not in the course of my studying, not in the course of mankind. Have I ever met a successful person who hasn't failed. Now, the difference between successful people and people who are unsuccessful, because we all will fail, is successful people learn how to deal with failures. They learn how to accept it and embrace it and understand it and learn from it. And it doesn't become a negative to them. It becomes a learning. It becomes an education. It's a tuition they paid for the education they got.
You get a challenge or something you think is a setback. It's only a setback in your initial perception, and only when you don't stop and look at how it could serve you. See, the master is the one that takes whatever happens in their life, supportive or challenging, and asks how does it serve them and their mission. Because it's never what happens on the outside, it's always how you perceive what's up on the outside. So if you can take a challenge and you say, okay, so how am I going to use this to my greatest advantage, and what are the benefits that I'm going to get from this, and how is it going to help me fulfill my highest values, and how is it going to actually give me a step forward? If you ask that question and answer that question, it's not an obstacle. An obstacle is only when you've chosen to see only the drawbacks without the opportunities.
Some people are so worried about failing, they don't start. And so one of my friends says, you don't have to get it perfect, just get it started. And then in the process of doing it, you will learn.
What is failure? That's easy. It's not trying. It's not getting in the game. It is thinking about it and not doing. You know, you cannot fail if you try, if you get into the game.
You know, I like to use the analogy of a missile. When I shoot a missile off of my airplane, all missiles initially, they just come off straight. And any engineer will tell you that a missile actually requires mistakes. It actually requires errors in order to become successful at hitting its target. And so as a missile comes off the airplane, if you've got a plane that's going in this direction, the missile comes off and it sees that the airplane that you're trying to shoot at is going this way. It sees that it needs to correct that way, and it makes a correction. Then it makes a smaller correction. Then it makes a smaller correction, and next thing you know, it hits the target. The same is true with us. You know, we've all got dreams. We all have a target, and we all have goals. A failure-minded person goes down the road towards their goals. They hit that first obstacle, and they go, I'm a failure. I always fail. And they turn around and they give up their dreams. A success-minded person hits that first obstacle, and they go, you know what, I'm going to be successful, and they make a correction just like that missile. They hit the next obstacle, and they make a little bit other correction, just like that missile. And the next thing you know, they find that they've zigzagged their way to their target, to success.
When I was learning to walk, my parents didn't say, oh, Jack failed after 7 tries, let's give up. They said, just, you know, keep coming, boy. However long it takes, you're going to make it. And for me, I've read so many stories about, you know, Thomas Edison, who had 10,000 experiments to invent a light bulb. And when someone said, you failed 10,000 times, he says, no, I never failed once. He said, I invented the light bulb. It just happened to be a 10,000-step process.
You're going to have some setbacks in life, some challenges, some difficulties. And those are the days which really test what happens. Maya Angelou says it like this: if there's something in your life you don't like, change it. But if you cannot change it, change your attitude. That is why it's critical for you to work on your attitude and start to have a reservoir from which to draw from before you need it, because you're going to have some days which test you, which try you, which really push you to the edge. And those are the days that you need to make sure that you have a positive outlook, a positive in-look, and a positive uplook, that you are thankful and grateful for all things, even the challenging things, because it is through the challenges that we grow, that we stretch, that we start to become all that we can possibly become.
In our society, so often we focus on problems and obstacles and challenges and failures, and those kind of things paralyze us. They cause us to stop because we can't really see beyond that. But the truth of the matter is, if we look carefully, we'd see very clearly there is no such thing as a problem. Everything is a puzzle, and there are answers to puzzles. So when you run up against something that you're not sure of, doesn't mean it's a problem, doesn't mean you can't get around it. You just need to find the right answer for that puzzle.
I've decided that every single thing that happens is a success. Everything. There's a learning experience, maybe I achieved whatever the goal was, but I'm going to go after something else. I just learn, grow, and go.